All right, we will open the meeting of the Middlesex County Utility Authority Commissioners, the regular meeting of Thursday, April 26, 2018. And if you will please rise and join with me in a pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
For the agenda session, the first order of business on the agenda session would be, of course, the pledge. We did that. The approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of March 22nd, 2018. Oh, no, I should have done that. I might as well do it now. I usually forget until somebody reminds me, and I did. Thank you. So, that's why we've got a chair and our attorney over there to keep me out of trouble. This meeting is being held in compliance with the Open Public Meeting Law. Compliance with the law has been met by providing notice of the meeting to the counties of Middlesex, Union, and Somerset, and also to the news media, which includes the Courier News, the Star Ledger, and the Home News Tribune. Thank you. So we have the disclosure completed. The agenda section of the meeting, the first order would be the approval of the minutes of the regular meeting, March 22nd, 2018. And we have, how many resolutions? I didn't count them.
13.
How many?
13.
13. We have 13 resolutions on our agenda session. Are you going to run through them for us?
I believe I will quickly, and if there's any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Okay, our executive, well, first of all, let me welcome our new executive director. I'm sorry, we should have done that as a member of the committee here. Everybody knows Joe, but I want to officially inform you, welcome you to our committee.
Chairman, thank you.
And so if you go through the resolutions for us, please. Appreciate it.
Chairman, thank you. We have 13 resolutions for the board's consideration. Resolution number 1 is a bid award for Cothray Construction. To note that this item was a rebid, and Cothray came in $300,000 less than the other bidder, which was Quad in this particular case. And again, you should note that the first time we bid this was a rebid. It was 20% over the anticipated price. So this has worked out favorable for the authority. Item 2 is for the pipeline structure engineer with Pure Technologies. We mentioned it in the engineering meeting as well. This is a variety of tasks that are done, in particular scoping within the pipes as well. If I go too fast or too slow, we're finding our way here. Please let me know. Item 3 is for the transportation of Meadowlife, the recycled soil product. That literally is from the landfill, from the plant to the landfill. Item 4 is for the Muffin Monster. It's a sole source contract. The Muffin Monster, as you know, requires repairs and parts, and that because it is a sole source contract, we require to obviously get the parts strictly from the vendor there.
I'm just going to add a piece of, I always was so scared to go down in the basement to see what a Muffin Monster was.
Yes.
But it's really not a Muffin Monster, it's a machine, so I'm sorry to
It
interrupt.
is a machine. I admit it was intimidating for me as well.
I have to say that.
Item 5 for your consideration is an extension. It's a change order for $50,000 for R3M Engineering in results of work on the audit control project. Was also discussed in the engineering committee meeting as well. Item 6 is a change order. It's one of those wonderful change orders that's no cost, so we actually like that portion of it. And it is for it's for the force main and gravity sewers, and we can discuss that as well. Item 7 is a actual credit. It's with Northeast Remsco, and there is a variety of informational backup in your packets that goes through how we ended up obtaining a $377 credit. Item 8 is for the Sayreville Pump Station. This is for the flood mitigation project. This is the cone, the infamous cone that's had some effects from Sandy. As a result of that, we have some restoration work to do. That cost is there for you. Item 9 is for an authorization for us to allow us to sell some surplus equipment. You can get a very old car, a very old truck if you like. In some cases not running. but they're there for you to bid on. Item 10 is a nomenclature change with Schweitzer Engineering to SEL, and requires us to adjust the contracts accordingly, but it's simply a change of nomenclature as well. Item 11 is our water quality management plan. It's an amendment with RG, and we can certainly discuss that at your convenience. Item 12 for your consideration is for a landfill compactor for the, again, for the landfill, and price-wise, Mr. Clark will talk about that, but we've got a need for the compactor at this point. And item 13 for your consideration is to provide the landfill cover material at our landfill. It's from Bayshore. One of the interesting parts of this bid is we went back and did this the second time. This is the second bid. The first time came in larger, but the nice part about this bid is one vendor wanted us to actually pay them to do this work. And in this particular case, this vendor is actually paying us. So it works out pretty well. Those are the summary of the resolutions. Be happy to answer any questions that you have.
I have one on 12, this is Paul's area. Paul, the landfill compactor, is that a new one, or is that replacing one that we had, or is it an additional?
Well, it's a good question. It is a new one. The one we're procuring is new. But what we're going to do is we decided we have a trade-in. It was in the bid to trade in the old one, which is has about 18,000 hours on it. It's over 10 years old. We decided to keep that. They offered us not a bad price, but we think we can keep it, spend a little money and keep it refurbished and working for us, because what we found operating a landfill all these years is compactors are like gold. They're very hard to find. They're expensive, and they're hard to find. So this one, even though it's hit pretty much into its useful life, we also have another one that's right around the same age. We think it's a good idea to rehab and refurbish the one we have.
So what do we have, two then?
We have a total of 3.
Oh, total of 3, okay. So we have 2, this is adds a third, or?
Nope, we have 3. We're swapping,
You're swapping.
we're just, right.
Okay. Talking about useful life and being old, that makes me worry a little bit. All right, is there any questions on any of the resolutions that we have here from members of the board? No? All right, if there's seen none, then we will come off of the agenda session and we'll open the regular session of the Middlesex County Utility Authority Commissioners for Thursday, April 26, 2018. And would the secretary please call the roll?
Chairman Light,
Here?
Commissioners Convery,
Here.
Cruz,
Here.
Deal,
Here.
Jacobs,
Present.
Giuliano,
Here.
Murray,
Here.
Roder, Zulo.
Here. Okay, and we did read the disclosure, so I won't read that again. We know that the Open Public Meeting Act. We will open the meeting to the public to see if there's any questions concerning the 13 items that are before us before we proceed to act on them. Is there any member in the audience that wishes to make a comment or question on the 13 resolutions that are before us today? All right, you're seeing none, and we'll close that portion of the public meeting. First order of business then would be the approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of March 22nd, 2018. May we have a motion for the approval of those minutes?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Abstention.
Oh, one abstention, okay. Judy, you got that? Okay. Minutes. And we have 13 resolutions before us then. One last chance, so I'll ask if there's any member of the public who wants to question or make comment on the 13 resolutions before we adopt them with consent agenda adoption. Seeing none, we'll close that portion. May we have a motion to adopt the 13 resolutions that the Executive Director ran over for us by consent agenda adoption?
I'll move them.
We have moved. Second? I'll second it. Got through that there. Judy, will you call the roll, please, on the motion to approve the resolutions 1 through 13 by consent agenda adoption?
Chairman Light,
Yes.
Commissioners Convery,
Yes.
Cruz,
Yes.
Deal,
Yes.
Jacobs,
Yes.
Giuliano,
Yes.
Murray,
Aye.
Roder,
Yes.
Zulo.
Yes.
I think we didn't have a full board, you get tired by the end, right? Make a note of the fact that we have 2 copies of the payment of bills for the wastewater division and solid waste division. Each commissioner should have a copy of that in their packet. And we had an engineering committee meeting prior to this meeting this afternoon. Ray, did you want to make any comments about the engineering committee meeting?
Sure, thank you, Mr. Chairman. We had a rather extensive engineering committee meeting. We discussed a number of the resolutions on the agenda today. In addition, we had a conversation about efforts to get greater control over some of the odor control issues that were presented at last meeting by some members of the public, not only at the landfill site, but also some efforts here in Sayreville to take care of some of those efforts. So we ran through that. We did discuss in great detail the 2 FEMA-eligible projects that are underway. Sayreville pump station rehabilitation is about 21.5% complete, and Edison is a little over 37% complete to date. What else did we talk about? And we talked about a number of the other ongoing projects that we have underway.
Fairville and Edison are both close to being on time and on schedule, right?
Yeah, slight 37 days behind on Edison and 107 days behind on Sayreville. So hopefully we'll be able to
But they
make
seem to
those
think
days up.
they could pick some of those up. I understand that, right?
Yep.
Fine. Any questions on that? I mentioned the bills. Our next meeting is the 24th of May. And will we have any other business to conduct? Do you have any other business you want to bring up?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
I see we have in front of us a summary of the operating results and the industrial retreatment program and other activities that have been conducted over the past month. And I'd just like to compliment the preparation of this report. It's a nice summary of activities that have gone on during the month.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Did you want to pass it on if they want to comment?
Yeah, I will, yes. Anybody, no other questions? Nobody asking the public? The public is all part of us, but is there any member of the public who wishes to address the board today before we adjourn? We're seeing none?
Wait.
Oh, you are? Okay, well, I thought you were just waving to me. How?
Good afternoon, members of the board. My name is Charles Cradaville. I'm from New Brunswick. I'm the editor of a community newspaper, New Brunswick Today.
We've seen you before.
Yes, about a year ago, I think.
Yes.
I wanted to start by congratulating the new executive director and wish him all the best in the position. I did have one issue I wanted to ask about. That would be regarding contractor that's done work for the authority in the past. I want to make sure they're not getting any contracts anymore. That's Longo, electrical, mechanical. Are they barred from getting any future contracts after their criminal falsification?
Yeah, that issue was brought to my attention. Right now there is no application by any company. So, you know, I don't want to be talking hypotheticals, but we would certainly look at, you know, what we'd be able to do, and if a company is not capable of bidding or not capable of being awarded a contract, we would not be awarded a contract. But I don't want to answer something that may happen in the future. We have to have the facts, so we need to abide the event.
Okay, so my understanding is that this firm had previously misled the MCUA as to whether they were following the requirements to pay their own people, is my understanding, and that led to criminal charges for falsification of records. I understand that the former governor issued a pardon to his friend for those charges, and just want to make sure that if they were barred from doing further work for public entities, that they're not that pardon is not going to mean that the firm gets to come back and start doing work for the authority again. I think they burned you once. You should not give them any more of your business. There's probably other firms that could do the work and, have a better track record. So that's my 2 cents.
Well, we appreciate your comments, thank you.
Thank you kindly.
Nice to have you with us. Is there any other member of the public that has any questions or statements that they'd like to make? All right, there's seeing none then, and any commissioners have anything? Nope. And we can either sit here all night, or I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. Second. All in favor? Aye. We are adjourned. Thanks.